Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. I am getting ready to embark on a new repair. This is a Space Invaders Part 2 3-stack PCB set along with the AM6009 power supply. So we're going to be repairing both of those. I do not film the intro before the repair is done, so I have no idea what we're embarking on. I have no idea the condition of this. Just obviously that it doesn't work. The power supply has been capped. It was capped last year. There's a sticker on it from Arcade Parts and Repair. So it was capped last year, which is nice. So I don't have to deal with that. So we'll just load it down and test it and make sure the reset circuit's working on that and everything. Repair it if we have to. It looks good. It may have just been sent along for verification. I'm not sure. So we'll get into that. We'll repair the 3-board stack, let it run, make sure everything works on it properly, and we'll see what is wrong with this one. So let's head over to the bench and get right to it. Okay. Alright, so I am getting ready to fire this thing up. We've got that plugged in. We've got the monitor plugged in. And let's give it a shot, shall we? It's on. Let's see what we're dealing with. We got a sync issue. Do I have it hooked up correctly? I think I do. Pretty sure it is, right? Alright, maybe this board's just flat out got a sync issue, right? Let me see if I can dial it in. No, I don't think so. That's horizontal sync. And I've got it hooked up to composite sync. Alright, well that's not good, so we're going to have to start doing a little bit of probing around. Alright, so we are going to do a little bit of probing around here. And I just want to, I've turned the monitor off. I just want to see what the sync signal looks like. And do some general looking around here. Let me look at the sync signal at the pin. And there is no sync signal at the pin. Alright, so we have no sync signal right there. That's supposed to be sync. And that's supposed to be the red signal. Green, blue. Is this not color? Is this not a color board? No, it's a color board. This is a color PCB, but there's like nothing going on. This chip is a 16, which I believe drives the color bits. And it doesn't look like we've got color bits at all. I'm going to turn it off. I want to plug the monitor back in, turn it back on. We're not getting anything out of this. No sync signal to speak of. There is a little bit of a red, no green, no blue. And if you remember on the monitor, it was just, well, now it looks like we've got some green and blue going on. Yeah. And red, but no sync. There's no sync. This is an LS14. And there's no telling if there's supposed to be a signal there. There's something going on the screen, so something's running, but there's no sync. Zero, one, zero, one. Okay, yeah, we're going to have to dig up the schematic and find out what's up with the sync signal. That's what I want to fix first and foremost. Yeah, this chip right here is what drives the color beds. Alright, well here's your sync. This is that LS16. That's the sync, and it gets inverted, and I take it that it gets inverted and goes to the monitor. Here's the inverted part of it. There's our sync signal. So we have a dead 16, which you can replace this with a 06. That chip's no good. And that's just from memory. I know that the color signals and stuff like that are down here. And yeah, this chip is an issue. So now we've got some red, we've got no green, we've got no blue. That could definitely just be that chip. So first things first, we'll go ahead and replace this 16. I'll put a 06 in there, and then we should be a lot better off. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and clip that baby out of here. If I can find a good set of clippers. Let's go ahead and clip this guy out. This board needs some work done to it right away. I see issues with it. It's missing some of the pots, broken. These caps look like they need to be replaced. So we'll replace the caps, replace the broken pots. It's the wrong tip. It's not the right tip. I have to get in here like this. Okay, all the work is done on the game board. The 7416 has been replaced, and I replaced it with a 7406, which is basically the same. It's not the same chip. Those are open collector, high voltage driving, and I would say that that goes along with higher current capability. The 06 can drive up to 30 volts, and the 16 I believe is 15 volts, so it's the same family of chips. So you can use a 06 wherever you see a 16. You can use a 06. So I got that done. I got the new pots put into the board where the ones were broken, and I replaced the 3 capacitors, and it's hooked back up. So let's fire it up and see what we get on the monitor, the television set. Okay, we are all ready to go. I got to plug it in yet. With that and this, and we'll see if we get some sync this time. Alright, 06 is in the board. New caps, 2 pots. I don't have the speakers hooked up. Anyway, let's just go ahead and fire it up and see what happens. Okay. So it looks like the program to me is running, but we got definite video errors. But we at least now have sync. Next thing I want to do is I would like to do some RAM and ROM checks with the Fluke. Now, I know that this ROM board has nasty old Atari style sockets that have to be replaced. Yeah, so this thing looks like the program is running, and we might just have bad video RAM errors. We may have color proms that are dead because it looks like we only got red. But I did see blue and green at one point. I don't know. I'm done messing with this board for the time being. We need to flip this over. I need access to the ROM board. I need access to the CPU board. I need access to the CPU itself. So it is socketed, but I believe I'm going to have to replace that socket. And we'll do our RAM and ROM checks and see if we need to replace any RAMs and see if the ROMs are good. Okay, slight plain change of plans. First thing I'm going to do, because I do need to replace this socket. These are the old Atari style sockets. So I do need to replace these sockets. And I think I will dump the software in my reader and just verify. I want to verify these 2 color proms. These are nice ceramic RAMs. Chances are these are all going to be good. But I want to do the maintenance, get it out of the way, and replace these sockets. In removing these EPROMs, I noticed that this one, which went right here, and I believe these are video ROMs. These ones I believe are. I'm not 100% sure on that. But we got a couple bent over legs on these chips. That'd be a problem. So yeah, I've already removed that stuff, including the flaming tantalum. So I'm going to remove these guys now, not this one. This one is unused, unpopulated. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'll probably go ahead and remove all these capacitors while I'm at it. We'll replace those. Okay, so here is our maintenance pots, caps. I forgot this cap. Electrolytic cap. Sockets, caps, socket, exploding tantalum replaced, and we are ready to fire this back up. We're all hooked up, we're all plugged in, and we're ready to go. So let's see what happens. And I straightened those legs out, put the legs in right on the ROM, so we should be good to go. And all right, we have what looks to be an addressing error. Yeah, this seems to be some kind of an addressing error to me. So we'll have to get out the scope again and probe some of the address lines. Now, I'm going to have to think about this because the program is running. So, and this does not look like a data problem. This doesn't look like a bad ROM to me. This looks like an addressing issue, because the data looks correct, but we have like doubles of stuff. So it's like stuff is being drawn over and over again. This could possibly be a combination of a bad ROM and an addressing issue, because some of the data just doesn't seem right. Like the characters, some of the character stuff does not seem correct. So yeah, we'll get the scope out and start doing a little probing. Okay, so we have the schematic here I'm going to be looking at and probing. And we'll see if we can't figure something out here. I just want to go down these ROMs right here. These are the address bits. Okay. right. Chips number 22, 23, and 24 drive the address bits. 22, 23, and 24, and they are 08s. Okay, and we also have these 283s. Those, I guarantee you, are involved in, well, I'm not going to guarantee, but yes, they are part of the positioning. So 9, 6, 2, and 15. 9, 6, 2, and 15. These are 166s. Let's take a look at the 161s and make sure that's all looking the way it should. Start right here. This is a 0, 0. You know what I ought to do is see if black and white looks right. So I think I will hook up the black and white monitor as well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and switch on the black and white and see what this looks like. Do we get the same issue or not? Yes, we do. Same problem. Okay, just checking. Well, I went ahead and cleaned the legs on this. I actually dumped the software. This is Space Invaders SISV, and the ROMs are all good. With the Fluke, I was able to verify them all. The RAMs are good, but when I do my RAM test, it just doesn't look right. It's jumping around when it's drawing, and it's supposed to go down uniform. So We are going to have to really scrutinize this board. There's nothing easy. There's nothing just floating. And there's nothing stuck. So I believe we just have a logic failure. And it's either this board or this board, I believe. Because a lot of the shifting, where the sprites shift, a lot of that circuitry is on the game board. But we're looking at the kind of the canvas, the generating of the canvas itself. When I was using the fluke and reading and doing RAM tests, it would go like this, and then it would jump down here, it'd jump back up, and it's supposed to go like this. So that tells me that somehow there's a failure in the line processing on in the hardware itself. So I'm going to have to look at, first thing I'm going to look at is these adders. They are these guys right here. The adders take bits from the counters and spit them over onto this for mixing into the addressing into the RAM. They get mixed right here. So those guys are suspect. The counters themselves are suspect, even though they look good on the scope. I don't believe it is the 08s. I think it's something complex that you can't just tell with looking at it. I need to actually analyze. So that's going to be the next step, is getting the analyzer out and starting to actually analyze these guys. But that's going to be part 2. I'm going to stop and I'm going to process this video. I think I've got a pretty good little bit of footage. I'll go ahead and upload that as part 1 of this repair. So far, I've got new sockets. I've cleaned the legs on the ROMs. I've verified the ROMs are good. I put a new socket in here. I verified with the fluke that the RAMs are good. They're just not being addressed correctly. And we did a little bit of maintenance on the game board too as well. So that's where we're at, and we'll pick it up with part 2. See you then.